and welcome to this brand new series, the Steam Locomotive documentary. Today we're in the historic railway city of Crewe. First, I have this very special guest right behind me. All will be revealed in a few seconds. So, in time for the start of the series, let's go steam train hunting! Yeah!
Train starting at platform number 2 is 11:02, London Midland train service for London Euston by Stoke-on-Trent. Platform number 2 for Old Sage at Kids Grove, Stoke-on-Trent, Stone, Stafford, Rugeley-Trent Valley, Lichfield-Trent Valley, Tamworth, Addiston, Nuneaton, Rugby, Milton Keynes and London Euston. Platform number 3 for the 11:02, London Midland train service for London Euston via Stoke-on-Trent.
So here we are, K4 number 61994, the Great Marquess. Been fully restored back in 2000. Been built in Darlington Works in 1938, designed by Sir Nigel Gresley of the A4s, famously designed for the A4s and A3s. As you can see there, the tender had been modified in 2010 to allow more water capacity on mainline runs. A bit further down, you can see the number, which is British Railway 61994, when it was first given after nationalisation in 1948. Although in LNER days, she was given 3442. In steam days, she and her class, only 6 of these was constructed. Although one of them was rebuilt. As you can see, she's a marvellous steam locomotive. A brilliant little mogul, K4. For all her working life, along with the rest of the members of her class, she worked the West Highland line from Port William to Mallaig in Scotland. She was withdrawn by British Railways in the 1960s and was bought by the late Vitaud de Garnock. It was saved for preservation and escaped the scrapman's torch. She was originally based at Leeds to do special rail tours until British Railways did the steam ban after the 11th of August 1968. During Vitaud Garnock's time, she was based originally at the Severn Valley Railway at Bridgnorth. Sheds. By after the millennium, the Loco was bought by the owner of Union of South Africa, John Cameron. She left the Severn Valley Railway and left here for Crewe, which Crewe Heritage Centre is located right down there. She was completed in 2007, where she was restored to this current condition. British Railways black livery. She had been a very popular performer on the national network, as you can see here. She was recently repainted back in January, just in time for a starring role at the East Lancs Gala, back in January. For today, she's heading off to Tyseley in Birmingham for wheel turning. See with a light engine movement. As you can see, no support coach, because There's another Mark 1 coach which has currently been borrowed due to their union in South Africa as the main support coach. As you can see, this is a marvellous locomotive. And that concludes our guided tour of 61994, the Great Marquess. As you can see, we're on board the cab of John Cameron's K4 61994, the Great Marquess. Marquess, as you can see. Well, up here on the footplate, you can see a lot of action on the driver's side. That's the regulator, and this is the vacuum brake. Vacuum brake, as you can see here. And there's a speedometer, as you can see here. Normally they were fitted after in the days of British Railways, when the speedometer was fitted on some of the engines. That little silver button there, that's the AWS system, means automatic warning system. There is a magnet underneath the locomotive where the buffer beam on the front is. Note there's a little panel on the track. As soon as you see a green light, you'll hear a bell, which is this one here. However, if you see a double yellow or red, you had to press the button to cancel it. If you don't, within 5 seconds, the locomotive and the train will be applied as brakes automatically. You had to wait for an entire minute so the brakes could be taken off. These are the two water gauge glasses. You see how much water there is in the boiler. Right here. Normally, what crews, they like to see it 3/4 full. And of course, these dials here are the injectors, steam injectors, to feed water into the boiler. Now, the main rule is for steam locomotives, before you leave shed, you have to make sure both injectors work, because it's not safe to move off shed with just one injector working. It's that dangerous. So you must leave with 2 injectors working. And up there on the fireman's side is the boiler pressure gauge. As you can see on the locomotive, it's maximum at 200 psi per square inch. And this is the firebox. There's like about 500 degrees in there. And that concludes the cab tour of 61994, the Great Marquess. There we go. Our driver, Kevin Treby, has opened the cylinder cocks. Here she comes. Now, just looking on the signal, it's still on a red light. Of course, to the railway regulations, you cannot leave under a red signal. That's why you had to wait. So, like I said earlier, we're still waiting for the yellow signal or a double yellow or green signal applied through network rail signalman here at Crewe. But the K4 is waiting patiently, as you can see here. So, there's the proof of the 67 diesel I said earlier, as a friend of mine, called Ian Poole, would say, a skip. As you can see, just coming in behind me is the East Midlands train service from Derby by Stoke-on-Trent. Although another train is due to head off to Birmingham New Street shortly, is a London Midland service from Liverpool Lime Street. Or the Virgin Voyager service to Birmingham New Street, only calling via Wolverhampton. It's just about to be echoed in a minute, the sound of a Class 390 Pendolino for Glasgow Central. 390127. Oh, sorry, 157, sorry. Although this is due to go off at officially 12:15, but although there's Virgin Voyager due within the next 9 minutes, heading towards Edinburgh via the West Coast Main Line by Shap and Peacock. And we're still waiting. The hands are freezing! As long as it's not raining, I'm happy with that. There we go. And he's away. A nice wave thanks to one of John Cameron's representatives. Unfortunately, we can't see her now because full of smoke. Let's try and zoom in. Oh, hang on, I can see her now. There we are. Have a safe journey, K4, to Tyseley.
Had a splendid day today, Crewe. K4. Join me again soon for some more steam train hunting. Yes? Yeah!